First of all, this is not a sponsored review. I did pay the full price for this. This is one of the cheap clock kits that you can find on eBay. There are many different variations. It seems this is a very popular item. This particular one just says EQ kit on there, but I'm sure you'll be able to find it just searching for clock kit, because that's what I did. Many years ago, I assembled this many years ago, and it's been lying in a drawer ever since. Until today, when I came across it and thought, you finally have to get some use out of this. So I hooked it up to the bench power supply as a first test, and it didn't work. Now, some measuring quickly revealed that for some reason the tiny little 7805 voltage regulator was malfunctioning. Instead of putting out 5 volts, it only put out 1 volt. Now, this is one of the tiny little regulators inside a TO92 package, so who knows what went wrong with that. I simply went and replaced it with a full-size 7805 in the TO220 package. Mounted that to the back of the board right there. Very straightforward. The kit is based on this Atmel AT89C2051-24PU microcontroller, and it is conveniently running at 12 megahertz. There is a little quartz crystal for the processor clock, and obviously the processor clock is also the reference for the real-time clock. Power plugs into the board right there. There's a cable, and I've added a fuse because I don't trust these Chinese kits. The voltage regulator has already failed, so who knows what is going to be the next thing that fails. This is the lowest value fuse I could find in all the fuses I had in stock. This is 80 milliamps. I've measured the input current of the kit, and depending on what the LED display shows, it's something around 30 milliamps. The power source for this kit is this wall wart style power supply, and this is not one of the modern ones with a switch mode power supply inside there. No, this is a traditional one with a little transformer. And now, as you can see, it's only rated 4.5 volts, but you have to keep in mind how these tiny little transformers inside these things work. The 4.5 volts is the output at around 700 milliamperes. Now, if you're taking out less current than that, the voltage is always going to be higher. And I still remember when I was a child experimenting with these wall wart power supplies, that always drove me crazy because it said 12 volts on there and you measured the output and it was like 20 volts. So in this case, since we're only taking out around 30 milliamperes, the output voltage actually is 8 volts, something around there. And of course 8 volts is the voltage that the 7805 regulator needs to properly regulate the voltage. So in the end, it all works out perfectly fine. So if I plug this back in, as you can see, for some reason this always starts up at 10:10. Now to set this, you push this button, and then with this button, you change the hour. And notice, while pressing the button, the display just shows some random thing. It always increases by 1, which is a little bit annoying when you're setting the minutes. Now, when you're done setting this, you push this button, and this then takes you through various different modes, which are very unintuitive. And eventually you're back at the clock display. Now those different modes are also for setting the alarm. This does have an alarm function, but the article description on eBay didn't do a very good job of explaining how to set the alarm, so just to make sure that it never goes off unexpectedly, I haven't mounted the buzzer in here. This right here is the buzzer. It says remove seal after washing. I'm not sure if you're supposed to wash this buzzer. Seems like a bad idea. Anyway, I've just simply mounted this kit on a piece of wood because it's very easy to work with. And I've put on this filter. Now this is not a proper red filter. This was originally in front of a vacuum fluorescent display, and it turned the sort of greenish color of the vacuum fluorescent display into white. But it's close enough to a red filter, and it does make it much easier to read the red LED display. So really the only thing left to do is I have to find a wall hanger to put onto the back of this so that I can hang this up on a wall, and it'll be an interesting little clock. That's it. Thank you for watching.